morning drifts into the edges of the room. Light floating quietly across surfaces. Nothing insists on attention, nothing demands reply. I remain still while the air moves, slowly stretching, softening corners without asking for focus. So settling layers, low and even, vibrations resting against walls without pressing forward. Thoughts into light, they hover and then passing without forming chains. Some pause just long enough to be noticed, others fade immediately without leaving traces. I lyric about in forms not by effort, not by intent, but by quiet accumulation. The floor hums faintly, subtle resonance, more sense than heard, providing gentle foundation. My shoulders release tension, not consciously but naturally, as if gravity rearranges itself. The ceiling holds the light steady, soft and changing. I don't see patterns, perception expands, literally filling space evenly without direction. Time stretches outward, not forward, not back, just broadening silently. I abandon the need to categorize. Sequence feels arbitrary, every moment exists without hierarchy. Air brushes against skin, slightly cooler here, slightly warmer there. Differences felt but not named. I start naming sensations, labels compressed what functions bad, left unbound. Memory drifts in fragments, not chronological, not symbolic, brief and self-contained. Some parts linger, others disappear, none demand capture, none resist passing. I remain anchored, attention diffused, aware without grasping, present without holding. The room thickens slightly, mind heavy, not crowded, simply the ear, sound smooth, independently, low bass, blending with soft resonance, chords suspended lightly, ever demanding notice, rhythm stay internal, steady pulse beneath the wind is cohesive, yet unobtrusive. I don't intervene, micro changes occur, naturally floor shifts slightly, air currents rearrange subtly, even absence has texture, silent layers interwoven but not pronounced. Gradual light changer, color shifting imperceptibly, edges soften, no boundaries imposed. Thoughts stop piling, ideas drift apart, none insist on continuity, none require judgment. I allow the drift, acknowledging it without interfering, without reshaping. Presence spreads through the mood, evenly without focus, without demand. Gradual changes continue, light dims slowly, sound thins, space expands, transitions remain unnoticed. Nothing announces itself, every aim bled seamlessly. I stop measuring time, duration loses relevance, waiting introduces tension, left unmeasured, it flows naturally. Attention sharp and subtly, one search and fades, details surface without effort. Textures become noticeable, the weight of air, the faint resonance of walls, the space in between vibrations. I don't try to hold them, labels compressed experience, they function better, free of interpretation. Uncertainty stabilizes, not confusion but openness, unbounded, intact. I rest inside that openness, no stint, no alignment, no adjustment required. A low hum persists, barely perceptible, more sense than heard. Like infrastructure, underlying awareness, alignment occurs naturally, no calibrating needed, no reflection required. Only coincidence, nothing regrets, preservation, nothing leads to a recall. The moment exists independently, self-sustaining. I stay aware, brightly, not narrowing, not sharpening zeal. Higher gradual shifts continue, light sounds, the sound in space subtly expands. Transition, remain silent, everything merges, edges blur, nothing on purpose. I don't wait for clarity, wait any pulse. Pressure, understanding forms more accurately when none occurs. If the state doesn't elevate, doesn't diminish, it persists through repetition. Never recedes, tensions at all, the body settles before thought appears. Soft light falls through the blinds, spilling across the floor in quiet ribbons. Stillness occupies the the space without demand or expectation. The air moves gently, carrying subtle warmth unnoticed, unclaimed, folding into the room. I shift slowly, letting my body find rhythm. Every movement deliberate in its ease, letting the environment guide itself. My faint pulse resonates underfoot, steady, gentle, present but unobtrusive, anchoring everything around. Thoughts drift like petals on water, touching awareness lightly, then slipping away. Without insistence, silent life continues. Distant voices, passing wheels, brushing past softly. Without disturbing this calm, the bass hums low, warm and soft. Chords float above, filling the space subtly. Light bends and folds over surfaces, glass, wood, fabric, edges dissolve. Everything resting naturally, fragments of memory appear. Brief, unorganized, never demanding attention, then vanishing quietly. I let them move freely, without grasp, but label the present itself is enough. If a voice were to rise, it would be one smooth, drawing attention gently without force. Silence carries dimension, layers overlapping, presence without assertion. Space for thought to settle, breath forms steady, rhythm internal, calm, unmeasured, effortless, simply existing. Gauges blur, transitions merge, the room stabilizes. Without effort, I release, counting time, minutes stretch out, not forward or back, just expansive and calm. Subtle textures emerge, air vibrating softly, light moving across walls, faint echoes in corners, no attempt to capture them, they exist independently. Observed but unclaimed, uncertainty rests balanced, open without pressure, simply present. I stay in that openness, no posture, no stance, no alignment required. A quiet hum remains, felt more than heard. Energy moving gently beneath perception. Alignment happens naturally, without intervention. Presence simply unfolds, nothing asks to be preserved. Nothing leans on memory. The moment sustains itself, self-contained. Awareness expands, broad, steady, effortless, present without striving. Gradual shifts continue, light softens, sound in space loosens, edges dissolve, everything flows without disruption. Understanding arrives suddenly, without expectation, without pressure. It emerges naturally. This state does not rise or fall, persisting quietly through gentle repetition. Effort fades, tensions release. The body settles before thought responds. Presence spreads evenly, not heightened, not diminished, simply extended. Continuity holds without framing, commentary or conclusion. I allow the flow without structure, outline. Light dims gradually, activity softens, shadows stretch, everything adapts without disappearing. Alignment remains, following the subtle calls, neither resistant nor emphasized. Thought and sensation coexist without rain, order or force. Time behaves like a surface, movement unfolds without trajectory or goal. I move lightly, even though it creates no disruption, no attachment. Change approaches gently, merging naturally without breaking. Stability lingers, not a resolution, not an answer, simply the condition of being. I exist within it.
A slow haze settles along the edges of the space, not arriving from anywhere, not pointing toward anything, just existing as atmosphere. Furniture stands quietly, unconcerned with function. Each surface carrying its own temperature, unchanged by attention. I remain near the center, but nothing pulls harder than anything else. Balance formed accidentally rather than design. Air moves in long, loose cycles, circulating without urgency, passing through skin and fabric, leaving no impression behind. The pace feels unassigned, no internal metronome, no external signal, guiding progression. I notice how stillness reshapes awareness. Details become available once they stop competing for significance. Light spreads unevenly, resting longer in some places, avoiding others entirely, never settling into pattern. I don't follow its direction, movement holds no instruction. The scene sustains itself without supervision. Thoughts appear horizontally, never stacking, never collapsing, just crossing awareness briefly. Some dissolve before forming edges, others drift long enough to be recognized. Then out, I let recognition in there. No extraction, no summary, just passing acknowledgement. The room carries a low internal rhythm, not musical, not counted, more like infrastructure. I adjust naturally, no deliberate change. The body responding before intention appears. Time widens instead of advancing, no forward lean, no backward reference, only expansion. I stop dividing moments, division implies hierarchy here. Everything holds equal weight, sound rests close to the floor. Subdued, steady, never asking to rise. The arrangement stays restrained, space outweigh activity. Silence shaping motion, rather than replacing it. I remain attentive in a broad road, focus dispersed, not sharpened yet precise. Edges soften gradually, contrast dissolve. The environment becomes cohesive without uniformity. I don't attempt to stabilize it, stability emerges independently. The scene regulating itself without correction. Memory drifts too irregularly, not sequential, not symbolic, just brief appearances. It never demands response, never insists on depth. It passes like weather that doesn't arrive. I let it go unnoticed. Attention remains anchored in immediate sensation rather than reference. The atmosphere grows smoother, not warmer, not cooler, simply consistent. Consistency reveals itself as something dependable, less dramatic, more enduring. Minutes stretch latterly, no indication of progress, no implication of delay, just duration. I abandon the urge to evaluate the experience. Evaluate and introduces tension that isn't present otherwise. Here, perception stands on its own, untranslated, unframed, complete in raw form. Quiet accumulate, slowly layer building on layer, no threshold, no defining shift. I lose interest in marking chime, measurement suggests destination. The status is final point, remaining feels neutral. The party feels theoretical, book dissolve before forming impulse. Attention sharpens indirectly once pursuit fades, small elements surface, uninvited texture becomes prominent. The grain of sound, the density of air, the space in between movement. I avoid naming developments. Labels reduce range, they operate better. Unconceived uncertainty, stabilizing here, not as confusion but an openness. With no daughters, I rest inside that openness. No stance, no readjust, no resistance. A vain internal hum persists, not audible. More intense, I collect the current behind wall. I align with it unintentionally. No agreement with crying, no confirmation needed. Just go consist. I thought the kiss president. The needs toward memory don't mean exist independently. Morning drifts softly along the walls, light spilling in quiet streets. Stillness holds the space without demand or expectation. Air circulates gently, carrying faint warmth unnoticed. Unclaimed, settling naturally. I move slowly, limbs unfolding in ease. Every gesture measured by calm, letting the room guide itself. A low hum vibrates beneath the floor, steady, subtle, anchoring the space without assertion. Thoughts arrive like drifting smoke, touching the edge of awareness, then fading silently without insistence outside. The city moves silently. Voices, wheels, distant signals, passing without intrusion, brushing softly against stillness. The bass lies low, soft but present chords blend and hover, filling space without claiming it.
Light bends over surfaces, wood, fabric, glass, edges soft and everything finding its own tone. Memories float lightly fragmented, unorganized, appearing briefly then disappearing. I let them pass freely, no labels, no grasp. Presence alone is enough. If a voice were to write, it would be more subtle, drawing attention without demand. Silence itself carries dimension, layers overlapping. Presence without assertion, breathing space for the breath becomes rhythm, steady, internal, natural, unforced, existing without effort. Edges dissolve, transitions merge the room, stabilize it without intervention. I stop measuring time, minutes stretch literally, not forward, not back, just expanding calmly. Small texture, surface air, vibrating softly, light moving across walls, echoes in corners, no attempt to hold them. They exist independently, observe, not control. Uncertainty, balance is calm, spacious, no tension, no pressure, simply open and present. I rest in openness, no stance, no posture, no alignment require a faint hum. Persist, felt more than heard, energy moving subtly beneath perception. A line occurs naturally, no intervention needed. Presence simply unfolds, nothing requires preservation, nothing bleeds on memory. The moment sustains itself, self-contained, whole. Awareness widens, broad, relaxed, effortless, present without effort. Gradual changes continue, light, soft sound, thin space, loosen transitions, blur edges, fade, everything flow without destruction. Inside arise early without expectation, understanding emerges without force. This state neither rising nor falls, persisting quietly through calm repetition. Effort recedes, tensions dissolve, the body settles before the thought reacts. Presence spreads evenly, not height, not reduced, simply extended. Continuity remains without framing, commentary or confusion. The flow continue without structure, outline. My hand light dim slowly, activity softens, shadows stretch, bathing adapts, lift out, break, snugly linger. Not an answer, not a resolution, simply condition. I exist within this calm, unperformed, unexplained, unaltered. No state become cool, still summary form. The moment flows, self-sustained, softness carries me, ease surrounds me, attention remains open. Quiet fills the space, slow echoes move like breeze, gently across surface. Morning light slides through blinds, soft lines across the floor. Air still carries last night's warmth, but nothing lingers heavy. I move slowly, not chasing anything, not pushing against the moment, letting it settle around me. The hum of the city reaches faintly, blended into the room. It doesn't demand attention, I just notice. Coffee steams quietly in my hand, simple aroma, nothing more. I sip and let the pause stretch, thoughts drift like thin clouds, appearing, vanishing without insisting. A melody hums inside my chest, low and subtle, not performed, just feel. I don't speak it aloud, it doesn't need translation. The feeling is enough. Light shifts again, edges blur, objects soften into their shapes without comment. Outside, movement carries on, hearts keep both signals, they do not interrupt the stillness, only brush against it. My voice would be calm if I sang softly, pulling attention without asking for it. Breathing becomes rhythm, steady, relaxed, not calculated, not anxious. Memory appears in fragments, not fully formed, never demanding, always transient. I watch it pass, letting impressions rest without analysis, without weight. Look gaze is slow, soft but persistent. Goes right gently, supporting the space around them. Time expands without urgency, without collapse, just a presence. I notice the small texture, the slight vibration of it, the faint echo of footsteps, the way light pauses on surfaces. I don't hold them, they exist independently. Observe, not possessed. Silence has its own tone, layered but subtle, not empty, not loud. Every note I imagine or would sing flows between quiet and sound, never demanding center stage. I allow the moment to breathe. The environment hums without forcing anything, without interference. Gradual shifts continue, shadows stretch, lights soften, sound fades, space expand, edges remain undefined. Transitions dissolve, there is no climax, don't fall, only a continuous layer. I stop measuring, duration has no weight. Moments pass without significance, yet fully experienced. Attention relaxes, unfocused yet precise, aware. Without effort, texture become clear. Weight of air, a resonance in a wall, gaps between vibrations. I do not name them. Labels compress, they function better, free and open. Uncertainty stabilizes, not as tension, but as breathing space. Without borders, I rest in that openness. No stand, no posture, no adjustment needed. A low hum persists, felt more than heard. An undercurrent, carrying the sea. Oh, I'm in a curve, naturally, no tuning, no calibration, only recognition. Nothing lands to be held, nothing leans on memory. Broken and crisp, and sustains itself. I remain aware, tension wide, present without anticipation. Gradual changes continue, life in sound, soft space, loosen transitions play. Nothing announces, everything merges, edges blur. I stop expecting clarity, waiting as wait. Understanding arrives when left alone. This state neither elevates nor diminishes. It simply flows through subtle repetition. Effort recedes, tension dissolves, the body subtle. Before thought moves, presence spreads evenly, not intensify, not agreed to. Simply extend if and interrupt, nothing conclude. Continuity persists without judgment. I allow it to continue. No framework, no commentary, no resolution. Blood surrounding, dim softly. Activity retreat, a scene of death. Without disappearing, I remain alive. We're slow, we don't need to resist it, nor amplifying. Fun and sensation, no hierarchy, no sequence, no direction. Time behaves like surface, not a line. Movement occurs without destination. I occupy that surface lightly, leaving your cave. The morning leans softly against the window pane, like stretching across the floor in thin lines. Shadows fold into themselves quietly, without asking. Edges through the room, carrying the faint warmth of yesterday. Nothing pushes, nothing demands acknowledgement. I move gently, letting limbs find their own rhythm, not forcing posture, not resisting the weight of time. A low hum vibrates beneath the floor, subtle, constant anchor in the space. Without a certain presence, thoughts appear like passing currents, light transient, touching attention briefly then vanishing. Outside, the city continues, cars gliding, voices floating, unintrusive, all simply passing. The bass settles deep, the soft chords blend, hovering at the edge of perception. I notice the way surfaces catch light, wood, fabric, glass, each reflecting slightly with light claiming notice. Memory drifts like scattered leaves, unorganized, effortless, never demanding, always optional. I allow it to pass, no grasp, no name, and just quiet acknowledgement. If my voice spoke now, it would be gentle, warm, softly drawing attention, without asking permission. tension. Silence itself carries weight, layers overlapping. Not heavy, not empty, just existing. Breath forms rhythm, steady, natural, internalized, unforced. Edges of the room soften, transitions dissolve. The environment holds together. Without intention, I release measurement. Time stretches, not forward, not back, simply expanded. Small details surface, like vibrations of air, light shifting across the wall, echo fading into stillness. No attempt to contain them, they exist independently. Observe but unclaimed, uncertainty. Balance is intense, not anxious, simply open. Present, I rest in that openness. No posture, no stance, no agenda. A quiet resonance persists, felt more than her energy, moving subtly beneath awareness. Alignment occurs naturally, without intervention, without correction, simply happening. Nothing requires preservation. Love isn't some memory, the moment exists, self-sufficient. Attention broadens without focusing, without narrowing, present and effortless. Guide your hips, continue, light softens, sound then, space loosens, transitions blur, edges fade, everything flows without interruption. Inside arrives subtly, without expectation, without effort, understanding emerges. The state neither climbs nor falls, it sustains itself through calm repetition. Effort recedes, more tensions dissolve, our body settles before thought responds. Presence spreads evenly, not elevated, not diminished, simply distributed. Continuity persists, without framing, without commentary, without need or conclusion. I let the flow continue, no structure, no outline, no unquiet. Light dims slowly, activity soft, shadow strikes every minute, doubts without disappearing. Alignment remains with the subtle rhythm, neither resisted or emphasized. Thought and sensation coexist, without break, without order, without force. Time behaves like a surface, smooth me unfold, without trajectory, without goal. I move through it lightly, leaving no mark, no disruption, no expectation. Change approaches naturally, it always does, but it blends without breaking. For now, stability lingers, not its answer, not its resolution. Simply present, I exist in the quiet, unperformed, unexplained, unmodified, no statement concludes, no memory forms. The moment sustains itself. Dirty lightnings gently across the wall, soft lines stretching along the floor. Still air carries quiet warmth, nothing pressing, nothing asking for notice. I move with the rhythm of calm, limbs unfolding naturally. Every gesture slow, unforced, letting space shape itself around me. A faint vibration hums underfoot, steady and subtle, anchoring the room without ever calling attention. Thoughts come and go like drifting smoke, hovering just long enough to register, then dispersing silently without lingering. Outside, life moves lightly, wheels, voices, distant sounds, they glide past the stillness, not intruding, only brushing softly. The bass lies low, gentle but persistent. Chords float and merge, supporting air without demanding focus. Light bends and folds over surfaces, glass, wood, fabric edges soften, everything resting in its own tone. Fragments of memory, one, not sequence, not heavy, passing by briefly, recognized, then gone. I let them move free, no labels, no grasping. The present stands enough as it is. If a voice were to rise now, it would be soft, warm, drawing attention subtly, without demanding it. Silence itself carries dimension, layers without weight, presence without assertion, breathing space for thought. Breath becomes pulse, steady and internal, unforced, unmeasured, simply existent. Edges dissolve quietly, transitions blend, The room holds itself without effort or guidance. I abandoned counting time, minutes stretched literally, not forward, not backward, or just expanding effortlessly. Small textures emerge, air vibrating gently, light moving across wall, faint echoes in corners. I do not capture them, they exist independently. Absurd, not controlled, uncertainty settles, calm and spacious, no tension, no pressure, simply open and available. I rest inside that openness, no stance, no posture, no alignment required. The soft hum lingers, felt rather than heard. Energy moving subtly beneath awareness. Alignment happens naturally, no intervention, no correction, just presence. Nothing demands preservation, nothing leans on recollection. The moment carries itself, self-contained and whole. Awareness expands, broad, steady, effortless, present without striving. Gradual change continues, light thin, sound softens, space relaxes, transitions blur, edges fade, everything flows without interruption. Insight arrives unobtrusively, without expectation, without pressure. Understanding unfolds, this state neither rises nor falls. It persists quietly through gentle repetition. Effort dissolves, tensions release, the body settles, record thought, react. Presence spreads evenly, not heightened, not diminished, simply distributed across the space. Continuity holds, no framing, no commentary, no closure required. I allow the flow to move without structure, outline, orient, light dim slowly. Activity softens, shadows stretch, everything adapts without disappearing. Alignment remain, following the subtle call, neither assisted nor emphasized. Thought and sensation coexist without rank, sequence, or force. Time behaves like a surface, movement happens without direction, without goal, without end. I move lightly within it, leaving no trace, no disruption, no attachment. Change approaches gently, it always does, merging naturally without break. Canal stability, that essence and not of resolution, simply the condition of being. I exist within this calm, unperformed, unexplained, unaltered. No statement concludes, no summary form. The moment flows, self-sustaining, soft pitch carries me, ease surrounds me. Attention remains open, quiet fills the space. Subtle echoes move through the room. Under a softened ceiling of sound, the space rearranges itself slowly. Objects staying where they are, yet feeling slightly repositioned. I remain near the center of that shift, not guiding it, not reacting to it, just letting it happen. A dull glow resting on the walls, neither bright nor dim, settled into a tone that asks for nothing. The air circulates in wide loops, unmeasured, unconcerned, steady in its own pattern. I notice how motion becomes optional, how stillness stops feeling deliberate once nothing is pushing from either side. Thoughts arrive without momentum, they don't stack, they don't collide. They pass through evenly, some linger just long enough to be recognized. Others fade before gaining shape. I don't gather them, collection implies intent. Here awareness stays open and unselected. The flow carries a faint resonance, subtle, consistent, more sense than heard. My posture adjusts quietly, no instruction involved. Balance finding itself before thought engages. Time spreads out with no sense of approach, no sense of retreat, only duration widening. I start organizing moments, organization as pressure. This state functions better left unarranged. Sound remains low in the register, anchored, contained, never lifting for emphasis. The rhythm stays internal, steady, predictable, content to remain unnoticed. I let the environment regulate it,
itself. Microchips corrected naturally. No interference, no refinement. Memory drifts through irregularly. Not ordered, not symbolic, just brief appearances. It never demands attention, never insists on depth. It crosses awareness, then moves on. I allow that passage, acknowledging, but not holding what doesn't ask to stay. The atmosphere smooths out, not warm, but not cooler. Simply evenness settles and gradually revealing itself. There's something dependable over time. Minutes stop separating themselves. No markers, no intervals, only continuation. I lose interest in tracking progress. Progress suggests destination. This moment resists endpoint. Staying feels ordinary, leaving feels abstract. Neither pull strongly enough to matter. Attention sharpens indirectly once searching feeds. Details surface on their own terms. Textures become noticeable. The grain of sound, the thickness of quiet, the space in between movement. I avoid naming them. Labels compress experience. These elements function better left open. Uncertainty feels stable here. Not as confusion, but as open ground with no boundary. I rest inside that openness. No stance to maintain, no angle to choose, no adjustment required. A low internal hum persists, subtle continuous, like infrastructure beneath awareness. I align with it unintentionally. No tuning, no calibration, just coincidence. Nothing has to be saved, nothing links to our memory. The moment's there on its own. I stay aware in a wide sense. Focus dispersed, not sharp yet clear. Gradual alterations continue. Light loses density. Sound thin surface, space loose. No transition announces itself. Everything blends, no wedges, no interruption. I don't wait for insight when it introduces strain. Understanding forms more accurately when in dialect. Your state doesn't elevate, doesn't reduce it. Levels of repetition, ever recedes quiet. Small tensions dissolve, the body settles before the mind comes in. Spread and spread evenly, not intensify, not diminish. Simply distributed, nothing interrupts. Never conclude, continuing whole with no justification. I allow that continuation, no framing, no commentary, no closure. The surroundings dim incrementally. Activity lowering its volume, the scene softening without disappearing. I remain aligned with the reduced pace, neither opposing nor amplified. Thought insensate and coexist. No hierarchy, no sequence, no direction imposed. Time behaves like a surfing, not a line. Moving a curve that lifts a destination. I occupy the surface lightly, leaving no trace, no disturbing, no expectation. Change will arrive eventually. It always does, but it will blend in rather than break through. From time, consistency remain not an answer. I'll go see me.
Under the low ceiling of the evening, the air settles into a softer temperature. Nothing dramatic and it's nothing exists with urgency. I move at the speed of the loom, unbothered by outcome, letting the moment choose its shape without interference. Street light reflections slide along flat, stretching into pale lines. They don't try to impress, they simply remain visible. I listen to the quiet between sounds, where intention dissolves and rhythm exists. There's a calm that doesn't announce itself. It arrives unnoticed, adjusts the atmosphere, then stays. I don't reach for emphasis. Everything here prefers understatement. Small gestures, long after effects. Breath finds its own timing. Not sync, not counting, just consistent. I let the pace stay uncorrected. No need to refine what already feels balanced in its rough form. Thoughts appear like passing traffic, present for a moment then gone. Without residue, I don't chase coherence. Meaning forms better when left alone for a while. The night doesn't deepen, it's smooth. Edges losing definition until contrast fades. I exist inside that blur, comfortable, unremarkable, exactly enough. Sound drifts without destination. Bass resting low, chords suspended gently. Nothing pulling focus. The space fills slowly, not crowded, just occupied by subtle motion. I notice how each feels earned, not through effort, but through release of unnecessary control. Time spreads evenly, no peaks, no collapse, just duration unfolding. I stop blocking moments. They don't need names, they don't need memory to justify themselves. There's a steady warmth here, not emotional, not cold, just present. I stay aligned with it. No adjustment required, no internal dialogue to confirm. Outside continues on schedule, inside drifts freely. Two systems coexisting quietly. I don't resist the grip. It carries without direction, and it feels intentional in its own way. The mood holds its line, never rising, never falling, just moving forward gently. I allow repetition without borders, subtle changes, doing up. Silence works alongside sound, not opposing, not replacing, just supporting. I remain aware without scanning, focused without tension. Nothing reaches for climax, nothing resolves. Continuation is the point. I let the track breathe. Long spaces, soft return, no urgency. The voice stays close, almost conversational. Never pushing, never retreating. Words land lightly, no sharp edge, no declaration, just observation. I don't decorate the feeling, it stands on its own, unfree, undisturbed. The rhythm persists, uninterrupted. A calm agreement, these we elements. I sit inside that agreement, no role to play, no angle to sell, just presence. As minutes cast unnoticed, the mood stays intact, proof that subtlety can last. I don't look for change, if it arrives it blends in without announcement. Try continue, like a steady glance, held just long enough to feel intentional. And I stay with it unrushed, unaltered, let it calm, remain calm.
Evening slips sideways into the room, not arriving, not leaving, just rearranging the air. Shadows lean instead of falling, corners soften, angles lose intention. Nothing insists on definition. Stand where motion thins, where activity forgets its purpose, and the body stops negotiating with the moment. The thought carries a low vibration, steady, unconcerned, like something functioning without awareness. I let my shoulders drop, not as relief, but as default. Tension no longer required. Light drifts across surfaces unevenly, never settling, never flashing, just passing through. I don't track its movement, observation feels optional. The scene maintains itself without supervision. Awareness widens quietly, not expanding, not shrinking, just spreading evenly. Thought loses urgency, ideas no longer cue. They appear, then disperse. Nothing here competes, nothing performs. Existence runs parallel, without intersection. The atmosphere grows smoother, not warmer, not colder, simply more consistent. I recognize this consistency as something sustainable, not exciting but reliable. Time stops presenting itself, no segments, no markers, only continuation. I don't reach for alignment, balance establishes itself without calculation, without effort. Sound remains low and restrained, frequencies resting near the floor, ever lifting, never collapsing. The rhythm behaves politely, stays in its lane, doesn't last to be noticed, just maintains pace. I adjust nothing, the environment handles itself. Microships correcting naturally, without intervention. Memory enters without invitation. Not vivid, not dull, just present briefly. It doesn't settle, doesn't demand reflection. It crosses awareness and exits. I allow that passage, no attachment, no dismissal, just acknowledgement. The space thickens slightly, not heavy, not crowded, simply occupied.
absence, this occupation has fullness without pressure, without weight, no outcome forms here, no trajectory. Experience remains lateral instead of forward. I abandon sequencing, stopped arranging moments into narratives that ask for resolution. Here, sensation stands unranked, no foreground, no background, everything equal in volume. Quiet accumulates without effort, layer after layer, no clear stop, no defined end. I stop estimating duration. Measurement feels unnecessary when nothing aims to conclude. Remaining feels neutral, departing feels abstract. Both concepts dissolve before becoming impulses. Attention sharpens subtly once it stops searching. Details emerge without invitation. Textures become noticeable. The grain of sound, the density of air, the stillness between. I don't label these details, naming will compress them. They function better uncontained. Ambiguity stabilizing, not as confusion, but as openness without boundary. I rest inside that open, no posture, no lens, no resistance. The room in is a faint resonance, barely perceptible. War sensed and heard like background awareness. I match the frequency unintentionally. No calibration, no correction, just alignment. Nothing has to be said, nothing insists on being called. The moment exists independently. I remain attentive without narrowing focus, present without anticipating. Gradual shifts continue unnoted, like density changes, soundings further, spice stretching, no transition shape. All that he said is high break, no edges, no breaks. I don't wait for clarity, it introduces tension. Understanding function better when you arrive in the ugly. This state doesn't elevate, doesn't reduce, stabilize. Ooh, repetition, rather is.
A faint temperature shift moves across the room. Not enough to change posture, only enough to register as something real. Surfaces reflect without interest. They don't return meaning, they don't amplify presence. They simply exist. I remain when nothing converges, where events refuse hierarchy and moments don't compete for recognition. Time loosens its structure here, no sequence, no priority, only duration spreading outward. I feel my weight redistribute, not heavier, not lighter, just differently placed. Attention trips outward, no longer folding back on itself, no longer searching for confirmation. Air circulates with no agenda, passing through space, leaving no trace, no imprint. I stop framing sensation as indicators, stop categorizing response as progress or delay. Thoughts flatten into a steady feel. No peaks, no collapse, only continuous presence. Some dissolve mid-formation, others never complete. None request interpretation, none resist disappearance. I allow that incompleteness to remain intact. Unfinished states feel accurate here. The room holds sound gently, not absorbing, not reflecting, just suspending it. I recognize a form of balance that doesn't require symmetry. Stability without alignment, outside movement persists, routes repeating without awareness, signals activating on schedule, systems indifferent to observation. I don't step away from it, I simply occupy another register. Slower, less insistent, distance behaves differently now. Objects feel closer, yet less intrusive. Space compresses without pressure. I let my stance soften, release micro adjustments. The body settles before the mind comments. Memory enters without sequence, not chronological, not symbolic, just fragments passing through. They don't ask to be retained, they don't seek validation. They cross awareness and continue on. I don't follow
Attention remains unhooked, present without fixation. The environment thickens subtly, not dense, not heavy, simply full. Blissfulness doesn't demand response, it sustains itself without reinforcement, without collapse. No conclusion forms, no synthesis. Experience remains open by default as I abandon the habit of extracting meaning, of compressing moments into explanation. Here sensation stands alone, without translation, without framing, complete as deception. Quiet accumulates gradually, layer upon layer. No threshold moment, just steady addition. I stop measuring intervals, duration loses relevance when there's no objective attached to continuation. Remaining feels natural, leaving feels irrelevant. Both concepts dissolve before becoming decisions. Awareness sharpens once it stops scanning. Details appear without pursuit. The edges of perception soften, transitions blur. The scene becomes cohesive without uniformity. I allow the cohesion to stay gone real soft. Structure would diminish it, definition would reduce it. Ambiguity stabilizes, less absence, more openness. A base without constraint, higher rest inside that openness. Not occupying, not avoiding, simply present. The human emits a low resonance, barely audible, more sense than heard. I allow me to instinctively, no adjustment required, no internal commentary, just recognition. Nothing here has to be captured, nothing insists on permanence. The moment exists independently of memory. I maintain attention without narrowing, aware without anticipation. Gradual shifts continue, light changes, density. Some denser, the space expands slightly. I don't reject the transition points, but can select markers. Everything marches without exception. I no longer anticipate getting anticipation. Understanding a much better one. Uninvited, this state doesn't ever be. The room stays still while the night keeps moving. Hair sliding slowly across the floor. Nothing asking for attention, nothing refusing to be felt. I sit inside a moment that doesn't rush me. Time loosening its posture. Second, no longer standing in line, just drifting where they want. Life from the street leaks through quietly. Not enough to change the room, only enough to remind me that something continues outside. I stop waiting for signs to arrive clearly. Clarity rarely intentionality usually settles in after the noise gives up. Breathing comes noticeable again, not because it changed, but because everything else softened and left space for it. Thoughts are raw without urgency. They don't knock, they don't interrupt, they just appear and rest. I let them stay without inspection. No need to translate, no pressure to organize. They can remain unfinished. That ceiling listens without responding. Walls carry echoes they didn't create. Every surface holds something it never asked to keep. I know it's all calm as an empty. It's layered built from small pauses, stacked without effort. There was a time I needed momentum for emotion, that's proof. Now trust still lives to confirm what's real. The night stretches wider than expected, hot darker, just less defined. They're just fading into one another. I exist somewhere inside that blur, not searching for position, not adjusting my stance, just occupying space. Memory moves differently here. I'm pulling, not pushing, just passing through gently. Some fragments slow down, others dissolve before forming. None demand to be kept, none asked to be ignored. I don't chase the ones that fade, they weren't meant to stay. Attention doesn't equal importance, duration doesn't define weight. Outside the city repeats itself, patterns running on instinct. I don't feel separate from it, just temporarily quieter. Distance feels compressed, sounds travel further, presence thickens without becoming heavy. I line with that density naturally, no conscious adjustment. The body understands rhythms, the mind has a name yet. There's relief in my narrating, no inner commentary, no framing of experience, just perception unfolding. Silence feels gaffling, without effort, more not dramatic, not symbolic, simply functional. I let it work, let it hold things together, let it exist without sign and purpose. The air cooled lightly, just enough to register. So shifts like this really announce themselves. I stay attentive to small changes. How calm deepens gradually, how awareness sharpens. With that becoming tongue, something here has to be resolved. Nothing insists on meaning. The moment sustains itself, I remain incomplete. I stop rehearsing explanations, even intonally, and to form better when they aren't first. I feel less directional now, more like a surface. I move across white meat, leaving no trace I miss. Within that idea, let it support me without expectation, without demand, somewhere between thought and sensation. I've recognized myself again, not defined, I divide this present, accurate, undecorated. Without performance, night continues suicidal, lays folding quiet. No single moment marking the shift, only accumulation. I don't track how long I've been here, duration loses relevance when there's no urge to leave and no reason to stay. Both options still neutral, equally unnecessary, equally distant from urgency. No, that's how calm alters perception. Details emerge without effort, not revelations, just clarity through quiet. The way sound thins out, the way light softens, the way thoughts slow without resistance. I allow these changes to occur, no interference, no guidance, just observation. Keeping uncertain feels different, less like options, more like openness, space with no pressure. I sit inside that openness, letting it remain wide. No attempt to close it or define its limits. Nothing workable happens, and that feels intentional. Not every moment one such. Some prefer continuation. I remain here without effort.
Morning leaks still have closed blinds, dust floating like it forgot gravity. The clock keeps breathing, slow and patient, as if it's waiting for me to move first. I trace yesterday on the edge of a cup, cold rings stacked like bad decisions. Nothing dramatic, nothing cinematic, just weight that doesn't unknow itself. People think silence is empty, but it's crowded if you stay long enough. Names without faces, voices without direction, all pacing around the same thought. I used to measure days by reactions, now I count them by what didn't happen. Messages hyped and erased, plans folded back into the pocket. There's a difference between peace and absence. I learned to stand in rooms like this, where nothing hurts exactly, but nothing reaches either. The city keeps rehearsing its noise, cars practicing impatience, lights changing for no one in particular. A system that never asks how you doing. I walk past places that remember me, corners I still expect my shadow. The ground doesn't judge, it just keeps holding everything. Sometimes I wonder if clarity is just exhaustion, the moment you stop fighting your own thoughts because you're tired of hearing them. I don't miss moments, I miss versions of myself, the ones who believed effort was always noticed, that staying was a kind of victory. Evenings stretched longer than they should, the sky fading in undecided shade. Not dark, not bright, like it hasn't made up its mind. I sit with that hesitation, let it spill across the room. No rush to label it, no urge to solve it. Memory is strange like that, it edits without permission, cuts the noise, keeps the pause, leaves you wondering what was removed. I stop explaining myself to strangers, then slowly to friends, not out of bitterness, just a quiet recalibration. There's relief in being unread and not performing coherent. Some thoughts arrive incomplete and deserve to stay that way. Night comes without drama, no grand entrance, just a gradual dimming of edges until everything feels closer somehow. I hear my own breathing again, steady, unremarkable, proof that something continues even when nothing changes. I used to think meaning
rise. Suddenly like a switch flipped by realization. Now it feels more like a brooch. Small truths revealed over time. I let the room stay exactly as it is. Unfixed, unoptimized. There's honesty and not improving things just to say it did. Outside, someone laughs too loudly. It echoes and disappears. I don't envy it. I just notice existence. Comfort in neutrality and days I don't ask for interpretation, where you're allowed to exist without turning it into a statement. I don't chase clarity anymore. I let it catch up when it's ready. Some answers walk slowly and hate being rushed. If tomorrow looks the same, I think I'll be okay with that. Consistency has its own kind of mercy. Even when it's dull, I leave the light on longer than necessary. Not out of fear, just because darkness doesn't need to be invaded. It knows when to arrive, and if nothing remarkable happens, that might be the point. Not every moment wants to be remembered. Some just wanna pass through. The ceiling drifts above my head, like it forgot why it was built. Shadows stretch without intention. Nothing here is finely tuned. My posture loosens on its own. No signal telling me to change. The present feels unclaimed and strangely unarranged. Furniture holds its position without offering advice. Every object keeps its distance, nothing asking me to decide. I sit inside a mind, a moment too small to call a scene, yet somehow wide enough to stand inside unseen. I don't negotiate with thoughts, I don't bargain with desire. There's no spark I need to manage, no urge I need to fire. Everything stays undecided, and I don't interrupt. I let the instant stay unfinished. That feels like enough. Somewhere motion continues without requesting my view, like activity that exists, whether witnessed or true. I don't lean to awareness, I don't turn away. I let existence overlap me in a neutral way. I once mistook intensity for something close to true. I thought pressure meant importance, I thought rest was wasted you. Now I recognize stability as something far more rare. There's power in remaining without needing to declare. I don't negotiate with thoughts, I've been arguing with desire. There's no spark I need to manage, no urge I need to fire. Everything stays undecided, and I don't interrupt. I let the instant stay unfinished. That feels like enough. The pulse underneath the track never lifts above a string. It moves lightly consistent, never sharp, never faint. My delivery stays grounded near the edge of speech, like it was meant for close proximity, not for reaching peaks. I stopped outlining my feelings, stopped grading every step. I don't find moments into lesson, I don't label them as fate. There's clarity and neutrality that I didn't understand. Back when everything needed meaning, back when I demanded a plan. The light source stays anonymous, refusing to perform. It doesn't decorate the setting, it simply stays uniform. I appreciate the lack of drama, the absence of a cue. Nothing tries to frame me, nothing tries. I don't negotiate with thoughts, I don't dive in with desire. There's no spark I need to manage, no urge I need to fire. No rhythm stays undecided, and I won't interrupt. I let the instant stay unfinished. That feels like enough. Minutes don't collapse forward, they extend side to side, like a circus without direction. I don't measure or divide, I'm not arriving anywhere, I'm not falling behind. I exist in a steady plate, man, that doesn't ask for time. My tone avoids exaggeration, never stretching for effect. It lands exactly where it starts, without demanding respect. Each phrase releases easily, no echo left to check. chase. The absence following the word carries equal weight. I remember overstimulation. Every pause felt incorrect. Every story felt like failure. Every love felt like neglect. Now I see how overreaction was clouding what was clear. Discomfort in low amplitude. There's relief in staying near. I don't negotiate with thoughts. I don't bargain with desire. There's no bark I need to manage. No urge I need to fire. Everything stays undecided, and I don't interrupt. I let the instant stay. I'm filled with that feels like enough. The environment holds no memory. It doesn't ask me who I was, it doesn't hint at who I'll be. It doesn't look for cause. I find peace in that indifference and being unobserved. There's ease in not being relevant, in not being deserved. I don't archive this appearance and store it away. I let it exist temporarily, let it quietly decay. Some states on rhythm for recall.
The night settles without a sound, like it arrived before I noticed. Corners soften, edges blur. Nothing here feels overloaded. My back against the chair feels real. The weight of now feels fair. No thoughts lining up to speak, just open air. The lamp stays dim on purpose, not asking to be seen. It doesn't try to color the room, it keeps everything clean. I don't decode the atmosphere, I don't shade what's near. I let the moment occupy itself while I stay here. I'm not reaching for relief, I'm not avoiding pain. I'm just letting seconds pass without a name. No direction pulling hard, no reason to decide. I'm resting in the middle ground, letting things ride. Outside hums in low detail, not close enough to matter. Like life continuing somewhere else, without getting louder. I don't lean toward the window, I don't step away. I let the distance stay untouched, exactly that way. I used to treat stillness like something I should be, like calm was just a gap between moments of heat. Now I understand the value of things that don't exist. There's truth in what doesn't shine, strength in this. I'm not reaching for relief, I'm not avoiding pain. I'm just letting seconds pass without a name. No direction pulling hard, no reason to decide. I'm resting in the middle ground, letting things ride. Groove moves underneath, soft enough to feel optional. It doesn't wrap around my chest, it stays horizontal. My voice stays close to breath, almost spoken through tone, like it was meant for a short distance, not meant to roam. I stopped turning quiet hours into something to escape. Stop pretending peace meant lack or settling mid-fade. There's balance in neutrality that I never saw when I was busy forcing meaning out of every pore. Walls don't hold memories, they just stand still. They don't remind me who I was, they don't ask me who I'll be. I appreciate the absence of expectation here. Nothing wants a version of me, nothing still. I'm not reaching for relief, I'm not avoiding pain. I'm just letting seconds pass without a lane. No direction pun hard, no reason to decide. I'm resting in the middle ground, anything right. Time doesn't press forward, it spreads instead. Like a wide surface I can lay my thoughts on. I don't stack them carefully, I don't arrange. I let them sit uneven, I let them change. The sound never peaks, never drops away. It
It stays consistent like it understands restraint. I don't look for a highlight, I don't wait for the turn. I stay inside the evenness and let it burn slow. I remember nights of urgency, every silence felt wrong. Every pause meant losing, very calm felt gone. Now I see how tension was doing too much. I don't need intensity to feel it tough. I'm not reaching for relief, I'm not avoiding pain. I'm just letting seconds catch shift alternate. No direction pulling out, your reason to the side. I'm resting in the middle ground, letting peace ride. The air cools slightly across my hand, a physical reminder that I still stand. I don't check how long it's been, I don't mark the time. I let the night exist without being mine. My tone never stretches beyond what it needs. It stays on. Room rests in a softer shade, like it forgot about the day. Walls don't echo, they just listen. Nothing here is in the way. I sit still enough to notice how my shoulders finally drop. No tension left to entertain, no reason not to stop. Light from nowhere in particular spreads across the floor. It doesn't rush to fill the space, it's been here before. I don't ask it what it means, I don't try to shape the scene. I let things exist as they are, unfiltered, unseen. There's no signal pulling at me, no direction I should face. I'm not early, I'm not late, I'm aligned with my own pace. Every breath feels evenly spaced, nothing sharp, nothing tight. I don't need to name the feeling, I just let it stay the night. Somewhere a building settles, old sound shifting in place, like the city adjusting without showing its face. I don't follow every motion, I don't trace every sound. I trust the rhythm underneath, that doesn't need to be found. I used to lean into momentum, like stillness meant delay, like moving slow or somehow meant I was falling behind the day. Now I see how calm carries weight in a quieter form. The strength in not reacting, there's balance in being warm. There's no signal pulling at me, no direction I should face. I'm not ready, I'm not late, I'm aligned with my own pace. Every breath feels evenly spaced, nothing sharp, nothing tight. I don't need to name the feeling, I just let it stay the night. The sound moves low along my voice, like it's built to hold me up. Not enough to lift me high, just enough to feel intact. Each word lands without effort, doesn't ask to be believed. I'm not trying to convince anyone, I'm just letting myself speak. I don't miss what isn't here, I don't want what isn't now. I stop turning moments into plans, I'll stop asking how. There's comfort in the ordinary when you let it be enough. When you stop confusing fullness with the need for more stuff. The air feels close but not confined, like a blanket without weight. I don't fight the passing minutes, I cooperate. Nothing here feels temporary, nothing begs to stay. Everything feels like it belongs in this exact way. There's no signal pulling at me, no direction I should face. I'm not early, I'm not late, I'm aligned with my own pace. Every breath feels evenly paced, nothing sharp, nothing tight. I don't need to name the kneeling, I just let it stay the night. A distant hum replaces thought, not loud enough to lead, just enough to blur the edges of everything I don't need. I don't reach for explanation, I don't ask it to resolve. Some moments feel more honest when they're left unsolved. I stop measuring my heartbeat, stop counting how I feel. I let melodic speakers before the mic and into ear. There's no climax in the sound, no rise that needs release, just a steady narrow path that leads to ease. My tones stay close to speaking, never stretching out a line, like something meant for near distance, like a thought you don't align. I don't decorate the silence, I don't try to fill the air, I let the gaps stay untouched, they're doing their share. There's no signal pulling at me, no direction I should face. I'm not early, I'm not late, I'm alive with my own pace. Every breath feels evenly spaced. The ceiling hums with borrowed light, barely bright enough to notice. Yes, it's still around my skin, like it knows I won't disturb it. I think back into the hour, let it stretch the way it wants. Nothing calling for my focus, nothing asking for a response. The floor feels cool beneath my feet, grounded, calm, completely claimed. I stop measuring my progress, stop translating every change. I don't need a reason tonight, I don't need a point of view. I let the moment settle in, like it's always meant to do. No urgency in my chest, no signal I need to read. I'm not waiting on a feeling, I'm not chasing any need. Everything exists just fine without my hands on the wheel. I let the night carry itself and trust what's real. Somewhere distant tires hiss across a half-asleep street. The sound dissolves before it lands, soft enough to feel discreet. I don't follow where it came from, I don't wonder where it goes. I let it pass like background noise that nobody owns. I used to fill these empty hours with voices not my own, borrowing other people's motion just to feel less alone. Now I sit inside the stillness and notice something strange. Your quiet doesn't feel hollow, it feels wide and afraid. In my chest, no signal I need to read. I'm not waiting on feeling, I'm not chasing any seed. Everything exists just fine. I love my hands on the wheel. I let the night carry itself and trust what's real. The rhythm moves beneath the surface like a pulse without demand. Nothing sharp enough to pull me, nothing asking me to stand. My tone stays close to conversation, almost breath more than sound. I don't reach for high emotion, I let it stay low, let it stay grounded. I remember craving motion just to prove I was alive. Always thinking something bigger was the reason I survived. Now I see how soft awareness holds a deeper kind of weight. There's no rush inside acceptance, there's no need to accelerate. The room smells like clean fabric and time that hasn't been spent. I don't feel like I'm a void, I feel comfortably present. Every thought arrives politely, every thought knows when to leave. Nothing fights for my attention, nothing tries to make me believe. No urgency in my chest, no signal I need to read. I'm not waiting on a feeling, I'm not chasing any need. Everything exists just fine without my hands on the wheel. I let the night carry itself and trust what's real. The glass reflects a softer version of the shape I've learned to be. Not edited, not corrected, just existing honestly. I don't ask it any questions, I don't search for hidden meaning. I accept the outline casually, like it doesn't need explaining. Somewhere music plays too gently to belong to any play. It feels less like a performance, more like sound that holds its space. Each note arrives unannounced, leaves without being missed. I like the way it doesn't linger, I like the way it exists. I stop burying my silence, stop framing it as calm. I just let it be a texture, like it resting on my palm. There's no climax in this moment, no reveal waiting to start, just a long and even presence that doesn't pull me apart. No urgency in my chest, no signal I need to read. I'm not waiting on a feeling, I'm not chasing any need. Oh, 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 everything exists just fine. Without my hands on the wheel. Oh, 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 I let the night carry itself and trust what's real. Minutes don't.
The air feels heavy in a gentle way, like it's resting on my shoulders. Curtains move with the night breeze, time feels wider, not older. I sit back and let the moon decide how quiet it wants to be. No thoughts knocking at my door, just space surrounding me. The clock keeps talking to itself. I stopped listening a while ago. There's nothing pulling at my chest, nothing asking me to know. I don't trace the past tonight, I don't map out where I'm headed. I let the moment stay unfinished, and somehow I'm not unsettled. I don't need to say a word, I don't need to be understood. Everything I am right now is already good. No pressure in the atmosphere, no weight I need to move. I let the night keep breathing, and I move when it moves. A car passes far away, its sound melts into the dark. The city doesn't feel awake, it feels like it has a heart. Pulsing slow, almost asleep, nothing sharp in its tone. I feel less like I'm passing through, more like I belong. Yeah. My hands are warm against the glass, watching reflections slide. Faces blur into colors that don't ask me to decide. I used to chase intensity like calm was something fake. Now I see how steady feels, yeah, like something I can take. I don't need to say a word, I don't need to be understood. Everything I am right now is already due. No pressure in the atmosphere, no weight I need to move. I let the night keep breathing, and I move when it moves. The beat hums low beneath my voice, like it's holding me in place. Nothing rising too high, nothing asking for escape. I stay close to the ground, let the melody lean, almost spoken, almost sung, somewhere soft in between. I remember wanting more without knowing what it was, always thinking something else was the reason that I paused. Now I'm fine with standing still, letting seconds drift by. There's clarity in slowing down that I don't question why. The room smells like quiet hours, like rain that hasn't come. I don't feel bored or restless, I feel comfortably numb. Not empty, not disconnected, just gently tuned down, like the world turned its volume now without making a sound. I don't need to say a word, I don't need to be understood. Everything I am right now is already good. No pressure in the atmosphere, no weight I need to move. I let tonight keep breathing, and I'll move when it moves. Summer music plays too softly from a place I can't see. It feels like it's meant for no one, but it keeps following me. Each note lands without effort,
but the city isn't. It breathes outside my window slow. Street lights flicker like tired thoughts that don't really wanna go. I sit with nothing much to say, just letting the minutes pass. Time feels softer when I don't fight it, like water in a glass. I used to think I needed noise to feel like I was real, but silence shows me things I didn't know I'd feel. There's comfort in the simple sound of my own breath at night. I don't need more than this moment, I don't need to be right. I'm not running, I'm not late, I'm just moving at my pace. If the world keeps spinning fast, I'll stay here and let it pass. I don't need a louder sign, I don't need a brighter light. I'm learning how to stay awake in these calm and quiet nights. Morning comes without a rush, the sky's still half asleep. Coffee cooling on the table, thoughts I don't need to keep. Messages I never send, words I never say. Some things feel better unfinished, left that way. I see reflections in the glass, not asking who I am, just someone trying to be okay with where I stand. Every answer doesn't matter, every plan can wait. I don't need to name the future to let it come my way. I'm not running, I'm not late, I'm just moving at my pace. If the world keeps spinning fast, I'll stay here and let it pass. I don't need a louder sign, I don't need a brighter light. I'm learning how to stay awake in these calm and quiet nights. Cars pass by like passing thoughts, here and then they're gone. Nothing stays too long enough to hold me for too long. I don't chase what's fading out, I don't pull it close. If it's meant to stay with me, it already knows. There's a rhythm in the ordinary, a beauty in the plain. I stopped asking for the meaning, it's a ladder in my brain. No dramatic turning point, no fire in my chest, just a steady kind of breathing that feels like rap. I'm not running, I'm not late, I'm just moving at my pace. If the world keeps spinning fast, I'll stay here and let it pass. I don't need a louder sign, I don't need a brighter light. I'm learning how to stay awake in these calm and quiet nights. Sometimes I miss who I was, but not enough to go back. I've learned that growth is quiet and never stays on track. It ain't need to prove a thing to mirrors or to friends. I'm okay with being open without knowing how it ends. I walk alone but not lonely, just present in my skin. Every step feels lighter now than it's ever been. The street hums low like a lullaby, the air feels soft and kind. I don't need to hold the moment, I just let it find me in time. I'm not running, I'm not late, I'm just moving at my pace. If the world keeps spinning first, I'll stay here and let it pass. I don't need a louder sign, I don't need a brighter light. I'm learning how to stay awake in these calm and quiet nights. Hours blur into each other like colors in the rain. Nothing lost, nothing urgent, nothing left to explain. I don't fear the empty spaces, I let them be. They remind me I'm still breathing, they make room for me. If tomorrow asks me questions, I don't have to reply. Some truths feel better living without asking why. I'm not chasing perfect endings, I'm not chasing more. I'm just standing in the moment, like I've never done before. I'm not running, I'm not late, I'm just moving at my pace. If the world keeps spinning fast, I'll stay here and let it pass. I don't need a louder sign, I don't need a brighter light. I wake up with the city still breathing, lights fading slow through the glass. My phone on the floor keeps buzzing, names I don't save, moments I pass. I tell myself I'm not thinking taken, but the silence keeps pulling me back. Every street feels familiar, every feeling fades into black. I walk like I know where I'm going, even when I don't really care. Coffee going cold in my right hand, same old song in the air. I say I'm fine, yeah, I say it easy, like it's something I practiced before. Truth is I learned how to leave things without slamming the door. I don't need closure, I don't need signs, I don't need someone to read my mind. If it ends quiet, it's still alright. I learned to sleep with the city light. I don't chase shadows, I don't rewind. I let it drift, I let it slide. If we go nowhere, it's still alright. I learned to live on the in-between nights. Scrolling through faces I barely remember. Smiles framed perfect, lives on delay. Everyone looks like they're winning, but nobody tells you what they pay. I double tap things I don't feel, I mute the noise, let it fade. I got used to the distance, got comfortable being halfway. I talk less now than I used to, not because I got nothing to say. I just don't hand out my thoughts to people who won't stay. I keep my heart in lowercase, I keep my promises light. If it's real, it won't rush me. If it's fake, it won't fight. I don't need closure, I don't need signs, I don't need someone to read my mind. If it ends quiet, that's still alright. I learned to sleep with the city light. I don't chase shadows, I don't rewind. I let it drift, I let it slide. If we go nowhere, that's still alright. I learned to live on the in-between nights. Midnight talks with myself, windows down, nowhere to be. Radio playing something soft, like it knows what I need. I don't miss you the way I thought, it's more like missing a face. Like a jacket I wore one winter, then left in another place. I still take the long way home, still like empty parking lots. Still think freedom feels like doing less with what I've got. I don't need loud emotions, I don't need promises said. If it feels calm when it's quiet, that's how I know it's not bad. I don't need closure, I don't need signs, I don't need someone to read my mind. If it ends quiet, that's still alright. I learned to sleep at the city light. I don't chase shadows, I don't rewind. I let it drift, I let it slide. If we go nowhere, they still alright. I learned to live on the in-between nights. Days blur into nights so easy, weeks fall out of my hands. I stopped asking where I'm going, started trusting where I am. Some people fade for a reason, some moments don't need a name. I don't burn bridges behind me, I just stop feeding the flame. There's peace in low expectations, there's power in walking alone. I don't need every answer, I don't need everything known. If something's meant to find me, it won't get lost on the way. I leave space for the future.